Is the Philippines really the paradise of pristine beaches and smiling faces you see online? Or is there a different story that travel vlogs just aren't showing you? I came here to find out what's real, and what I discovered about the scams, the culture, and the actual cost of travel will completely change how you see this country. We've been sold a picture-perfect fantasy for years, but the real story is so much more complicated, and honestly, way more interesting. Today, we're going on a journey that separates what you think you know from what I actually found on the ground. We're looking past the glossy postcards and curated Instagram feeds to uncover the real, unfiltered Philippines. Now, this isn't a video telling you not to come. It's the opposite. I'm here to show you what it's really like, so when you do visit, you're not just another tourist. You're an informed traveler. We're going to tackle some of the biggest myths, from the people and the dangers to the superstitions that shape daily life. First up, let's talk about the people. Everyone says Filipinos are the friendliest, happiest people on earth. And you know what? From the moment you land, you are surrounded by smiles. It's infectious. But the myth is that this happiness is simple or carefree. The reality is so much more profound. What many see as a happy-go-lucky attitude is actually a masterclass in resilience. This is a country that gets hit by an average of 20 typhoons a year, sits on the ring of fire, and has navigated incredible social and political challenges. That smile you see isn't a sign of blissful ignorance. It's a weapon of optimism. It's a conscious choice to find joy in the little things, to lean on family and community, and to just keep going, no matter what. I saw it everywhere, in the spontaneous karaoke sessions on street corners, in shared meals between neighbors, and in the unbelievable hospitality they offered a stranger like me. So, while the myth is a one-dimensional happiness, the reality is a deep, inspiring resilience that you can't help but admire. It's not that they don't feel frustration or sadness. It's that they are masters of not letting it win. This is probably the #1 question I get. Is the Philippines safe? The news often paints this picture of crime and unrest, especially in the southern region of Mindanao. And because of that, a lot of travelers are genuinely scared to even book a ticket. Let's get real about this. Like any country, the Philippines has its spots that require more caution. The U.S. State Department, for example, advises against travel to very specific areas like the Sulu Archipelago and Marawi City due to real risks of crime and terrorism. But to paint all 7,000+ islands with that same brush is a huge mistake. The vast majority of the Philippines, especially popular tourist spots like Palawan, Boracay, Cebu, and Bohol, are widely considered safe for travelers. That being said, you should always exercise caution. Petty crimes like pickpocketing can happen in crowded cities like Manila, just as they can in Rome or Barcelona. So being vigilant with your belongings is just smart travel. I spent weeks traveling through these main areas, often alone, and felt a real sense of security. The narrative of constant, pervasive danger just doesn't line up with the reality on the ground for most visitors. The myth is that the whole country is a danger zone. The reality is, if you use common sense and stick to the recommended areas, you'll find the Philippines is a surprisingly secure and welcoming place to explore. Something else you'll notice pretty quickly is the fascinating world of Filipino superstitions, or pamahiin. It's easy to dismiss these as just bizarre, ancient beliefs that don't make sense in the modern world. But the reality is, they create this rich cultural tapestry that makes daily life here so unique. These superstitions are everywhere, and they come from a mix of pre-colonial spirituality and centuries of outside influences. You'll hear things like, "Don't sweep at night," or "You'll sweep away your good fortune," or that if your palm is itchy, it means money is coming your way. And if you get a wallet as a gift, it has to have money in it to bring prosperity to the person who receives it. One of the most famous ones is chanting, "Oro, plata, mata," gold, silver, death, when you're building a staircase, to make sure the top step doesn't land on mata, which is said to bring bad luck. While these aren't exactly based on science, they persist as a core part of the culture, passed down from elders to show respect for the unseen world. So the myth is that these are illogical rules running the country. The reality is that they're a living, breathing part of the culture that exists right alongside modern life, giving you a little window into the nation's soul. Speaking of unique beliefs, I'm curious. What are some of the wildest myths or stereotypes you've heard about the Philippines, or any country you've been to? Drop them in the comments below. I read every single one and would love to hear your stories. A huge anxiety for travelers is always the language barrier, and the myth about the Philippines is that you're going to be lost in translation if you don't speak Tagalog. That could not be further from the truth. Here's the reality. The Philippines is one of the largest English-speaking nations on the entire planet. English is an official language here, used in government, business, and all levels of education. From a young age, kids are taught in English, which means proficiency is incredibly high, especially in cities and tourist areas. This makes traveling here so much less stressful. You can ask for directions, order food, have real conversations, and just navigate your trip without much friction. In fact, the country's English skills are a huge reason why its tourism and business outsourcing industries are so successful. Of course, learning a few phrases in Tagalog like salamat for thank you is always a great way to connect with people. But the myth of a major language barrier is totally busted. When you close your eyes and picture the Philippines, you probably see a perfect white sand beach with turquoise water. And you're not wrong. The beaches here are absolutely world-class. But the myth is that this is all the country has to offer. The reality? This place is an adventurer's playground, with experiences that go way beyond the coastline. Are you a history nerd? Go get lost in the walled city of Intramuros in Manila. Are you an adrenaline junkie? You can hike to the craters of active volcanoes like Mount Pinatubo. There are stunning waterfalls to chase, the otherworldly chocolate hills in Bohol to see, and even the cool pine-scented mountains of Sagada with their famous hanging coffins. There are even places that defy every stereotype, like Zamboanga in Mindanao, known as the Latin City of Asia for its unique culture and a rare pink sand beach. The myth is a one-dimensional beach holiday. The reality is a multi-layered country with something for literally every type of traveler. After busting all those myths, let's talk about the unexpected delights, the realities that were even better than I imagined. First, the cost. There's a myth that traveling the Philippines is pricey compared to other spots in Southeast Asia like Thailand or Vietnam. And sure, island hopping flights can add up if you don't book ahead. But I was blown away by how affordable the day-to-day costs were. A delicious, filling meal at a local spot, called a carinderia, can set you back just a couple of dollars. Local transport like jeepneys and tricycles, dirt cheap. With a bit of planning, the Philippines is an amazing budget-friendly destination. The second delightful reality was how great it is for solo female travelers. There's this idea that a woman traveling alone has to be some kind of super brave extrovert. But the friendliness of the people and the fact that English is so common creates this safety net that makes going solo feel so much less intimidating. I was met with nothing but kindness and curiosity, and locals were always happy to help me out. So, what is the reality of the Philippines? It's not a flawless utopia, but it's definitely not a treacherous danger zone either. It's a country of beautiful, stunning complexity. It's a place where resilience looks like a smile, where ancient beliefs dance with modern life, and where the adventure truly begins, where the beach ends. The myths are just the trailer, but the reality is where you'll find the real magic of this country. It's in the surprises, the nuances, and the genuine warmth of its people. Don't let a headline or a stereotype define this place for you. Come see it for yourself. And if you want more real talk on travel that gets to the truth behind the hype, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next adventure.